I'm Mariana, and today I'm here with Mr. Lan. Hey, Mr. Lan.
Hey.
So tell us about the day that you had your stroke.
Long story. Let's see. It was during fourth period, which is art class. I started to feel my feet getting really heavy, and then I didn't know why I was doing that. So I was trying to walk around class, and I felt like Frankenstein. And it was hard to move. So then during fifth period, I noticed that I couldn't write anymore. And so I was thinking, okay, I can't write. I can't stand it very well. So my class came in. They were waiting for me to review for psychology final, and when I told them, I can't write. I can't stand. I'm gonna sit down and have somebody else write the notes for the final. And then nobody said anything. So I taught the whole class like being partially paralyzed. After that, I tried calling the office to go home, and the phone was busy. Then tried dialing the phone. I couldn't. My hand wouldn't function, so I couldn't do that either. I tried texting the office. That didn't work either. So I thought, great, I'm gonna die at school. And so finally I said, okay, I'm gonna call Miss Sabatos one more time. I told her I was gonna go home. And then I got my 3 bags and tried to walk downstairs to the front office, which I don't know how I did it. And after that, I got home. It turned out my wife decided to go home early that day, so we managed to meet up at the house, and I told her that I wasn't feeling well, and she said, well, do you want to go to emergency? I said yes, which I shocked the heck out of her because I never say yes to that. So we drove to the emergency. My arm kind of fell. I couldn't control it anymore, and then they told me that they thought I was having a stroke, so then I went through all the.
How long were you in the hospital for?
I was in the hospital for a month.
How was it like?
Okay, picture yourself at your house. You know what it's like when you feel like you have no freedom?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. The door is open, 24 hours a day. People just kind of walk in, and you're thinking, hey, who's this person walking into my room? So I had no privacy. I was lucky that I had a lot of people visiting me in the hospital. So there's a lot of people there that have nobody visiting them, so they sat by the door looking sad. But I had a lot of students from Mission come by to see me, so they really made it better there. The bad thing about the hospital was that my wife would get there around 6:30 in the morning. She'd dress me, then she'd put me in the wheelchair. Then I pretty much sat in the wheelchair for 8 hours until she came back from work and put me on the bed. So it's really hard in the hospital.
And how was it like when you got out of the hospital?
Okay, that was strange, because in some ways I was glad to get out of the hospital, but then in other ways I was really afraid to leave the hospital because that was my home for a month. So I was kind of panicked about that. Then when I got home, my 3 dogs, they haven't seen me for a month, and so they kind of attacked me and jumped on my lap, and so they made it feel like home again. So that felt nice.
What was outpatient rehab like?
Outpatient rehab was terrible. Because in the hospital, you have rehab 3.5 hours a day. So every day somebody's working with you, and they were really, really nice and fun, and it made me laugh. But in outpatient, I hardly ever saw them. They didn't care. The guy that was my trainer was too busy flirting with one of the other trainers, and I never got any help. At some point, he told me that he didn't think I was going to get better anymore, so I should just quit. And I kind of told my wife, okay, I don't want to come back here anymore because it doesn't make me happy. So we have to figure out other ways of getting therapy.
So I know you tried some alternative forms of treatment, so tell me about them.
Well, I've done all kinds of things. I do acupuncture every Saturday, and that's been really helping me a lot. I mean, I get around 30 needles in me, from my face to my arm to my leg, other places depending on what's wrong. I did a lot of water therapy where I walk in the water, I stretch in the water. Let's see. I've done guitar therapy, art therapy, other strange stuff, electric therapy. They've all been helping me.
And what is acupuncture like?
Depending on how strong the needle is, sometimes it hurts, sometimes it just tickles. And it depends where they put the needle at, because I get a needle like right in the middle of my forehead, and it's called the happy spot, and so you can't scratch your face because you have this needle like stuck in your face. And I used to get 3 needles in my cheek, and I used to freak out thinking he's gonna hit the needle too far, it's gonna go inside my mouth. So I'd be freaked out about that. I get, let's see, needles here, needles in my hand. I get one in my thumb. He started putting one on my knuckle to make my pinky work. I get one on my foot and a few other places. Oh, the one that hurts the most is the one on my skull. I don't like that one.
Why does that hurt?
Why does it hurt?
Yeah.
Okay, imagine a needle about this long, and he puts it sideways. So he hits it with a little hammer, and he pushes it in, and then he's been using a bigger needle, so it's thicker. Then he puts electricity to it, and he turns it up, and it like vibrates my head. Oh. Then you have a headache after that.
So what did you do after physical therapy failed?
Well, originally I had my nephew train me. I found 2 trainers. One guy is, he's mostly into strength, as he kind of like build my muscles up, and I met Christine. She's the one that really has made a lot of progress with me.
Did you ever feel like giving up?
Yeah.
And how was it like when you came back to school?
When I was in the hospital, I told the hospital, well, actually, first, when I was in the hospital, I told Mr. Collins, when I was in emergency, I said, do not give my job away. I said, whatever you do not give my job away. Then, when I was in the hospital, I had them train me to come back to school, because my class is upstairs, so they had to train me to walk up the stairs and down the stairs and other things. So coming back was nice, though it's difficult because the school's not equipped for somebody handicapped, so I kind of had to adopt myself to work here.
And what do you miss doing the most?
Originally, I missed playing guitar, doing art, but I've been able to teach myself how to play guitar, so we're working on that. I do art all the time now, but with my right hand, so I'm actually learning how to do art with 2 hands, right and left. But I still really miss skating, because the Christmas before my stroke, I bought new wheels for my skates, and so I was just testing them out, but now I can't use them anymore, and I miss going to the beach.
And what have you been able to do again?
Almost everything. Almost everything except for, well, I can't cook right now. Well, I can fry things, but I can't do a lot of cooking.
How have the arts helped you?
Arts helped me in a lot of ways. I think arts put me in a good mood, but also art is making my hand have more focus.
What do you want to do, and what are your goals?
Okay, I know for one, I want to get completely well, because I'm kind of tired of this now. I think what I would like to do is I'd like to be a role model for people and help other people that have had a stroke, and I don't have time to do that, but that's what I really want to do, is help other people.
Do you have any words of advice?
The thing I always say to people is have a positive mind, because the people that don't have a positive mind kind of give up. And I know when I was in the hospital, there's a guy there next door to me, and I see him crying all the time. I didn't know why he was crying. So then I finally saw him one day, and I realized he lost both his legs. And so he's crying because he didn't know what to do. So I don't know how. Somehow I became his role model to get better, and so he learned how to walk on fake legs. And he met my friend, who was a musician. My friend put him in a really good mood, and that made him not want to give up for some reason. That was enough to make him happy. So that's one of the things I like doing, is making people feel really motivated.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lin.
You're welcome. All right, action.
Hi, my name is Christine Tran. I am a personal trainer. I specialize in functional movement and post-rehab training. I take people from post-surgery all the way up to strength training, and I train Christopher languid. So some of my other assessments when I saw Christopher is that obviously he had muscular imbalances. On his left side, there was a lot of atrophy, but obviously from the stroke. His his right side, just for example, his calves on his right side, all of his right side was more muscular, and the left side, it was smaller because it was atrophied. And I spent a lot of time balancing that out and making sure that we worked both on developing balance on his left side. And I worked a lot with range of motion and movement. My biggest concern was functional movements at first, so I modified a lot of exercises and so that he would be able to move in full range of motion. So, for example, if I needed him to do a squat, I would take him through a modified version of it, and then, as he strengthened up, I made him do more difficult squats, like moving side to side, moving backwards, moving forward, and obviously he excelled, and you'll see in the following. So here's Christopher doing a deadlift, and it took us. Christopher, how long have we been working together? 2 years? Have we been working together 2 years? Yeah. So it's taken us about 2 years for him to be able to do this. Good. Remember to shift your weight. There you go. Perfect. Good. Keep your weight on. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So you can see that automatically Christopher wants to use his strong side, which is his right side. So whenever we train, I have him focus on leading with his left side, and to make sure that he's building muscle on both sides evenly. Okay, what number are you on, Christopher? What number are you on? Okay, great. 2 more. Nice. Don't forget to pull back with your perfect. Good. Perfect. Here's Christopher doing a squat with a upright row. So this is moving his legs, or building his legs and his shoulders. At one point, he couldn't even lift up his arm on his left side, which was affected by the stroke. So he's doing pretty well. He's now transitioning to a lat pull down, and that's to strengthen his back. When I first met him, he had a hard time even being able to grip. Did I make you do 100? Yeah. It's 50. Yeah. So I had to train him to be able to pull the bar down on his own. Like I said before, he couldn't even lift up his left arm like that, and he wouldn't be able to grip the bar. So Christopher's advanced quite a bit. Both of us are really pleased with his progress. Good. Okay, chest up. Good. Perfect. Chest up. Okay, draw your shoulder blades together. do a couple more. Make sure you're hitting your left. There you go. So Christopher is doing a back extension off of an incline. And when we first started, he couldn't place his left foot up. I would have to place the foot up for him. And in order for me to get him to do that, we worked on a mat, and I would have him do leg curls and also lift his, do back leg raises. So that helped to develop his glutes and his hamstrings. And obviously when we would get on this incline machine, he would use those developed muscles to pull his leg up and place it onto the to that plate. So Christopher's doing kettlebell swings, and see how he's swinging his arms. Like I said before, he couldn't even lift his left arm like that. So every time we train, I always have him leading with his left side. Christopher is doing rows off of a sled. So that's 50 pounds, 225 plates, and then the sled itself is pretty heavy. Might be like 35 pounds. So before, we would use a rower machine to strengthen his back. Like I said, as he got stronger with the squats, he was able to stand upright and pull. I like my clients to be as mobile as possible. That's the objective. So this is kind of fun for Christopher. You know, it's athletic, and he gets to move, stand upright, and you look great. Don't forget, shoulder blades together. Nice. Okay, chest up. Pull from the back. Perfect. Okay, squat a little bit more for me. There you go. Nice. Doing great. And one of the nice things being in the studio is that he's with other clients and trainers, so it's a nice atmosphere, and it's motivating, you know, when you're in a place where everyone has the same mindset, trying to progress, get stronger. Christopher is doing great. As a trainer, I'm very proud of him and what we've accomplished. He shows us up twice a week, on time, all the time, rain, shine. You know, and this is the progress we've accomplished. So Christopher's now just going to drive this sled. Nice. Originally, when he first did this, it was very hard for him to drive it. He's going pretty fast now. Perfect.